Hey guys, it's Launchcraft here, and welcome to another game discussion. That's a really tongue twister. Today I'm here with SeaOtter77 to discuss about the newest update to Scrolls or pre-update called Rebellion. So Sea Otters is here with me. Say hi, Sea Otters.
Hello.
And today we're talking about the newest Scrolls edition. So now in this Scrolls edition, it's called Rebellion, and they have 56 new scrolls,
13 new trials.
and an explorer's pack, whatever that's no. Like you guys won't know, but we'll explain to you in this discussion. So my first impression is, holy crap, 56 new scrolls. That's not normal for them even. So, what do you think?
This is gonna be a game changer.
Yeah. Have you ever played the game before?
No, but I know somewhat about it.
Oh, really? Really? So you never played it?
I don't have it. You have to buy it.
Yeah, but I play it and it's quite fun. It's a card game. We do stuff in it. It's awesome in ways.
I mean, I still know stuff about it.
Yeah. So they seem to add something so that we're more encouraged to destroy idols. It's called Pillage and Dominion, and it seems
And
like
idle hate.
idol hate is the name for it, anyways. So it's like, so I guess Pillage is what happens when the unit damages an idol, and Dominion is when one gets destroyed. So this is also going to change the game. What do you think about this Pillage and Dominion thing, this Mojang
This is
thing?
gonna balance stuff so much.
Yeah, it's gonna, like, people are going to start destroying idols instead of destroying creatures. Like, have a different target for once.
I mean, like, there's gonna be more variation.
Yeah, and then the next thing on this long list, Mojang worker Owen posted, the next thing is that they're adding a new type of card called Champions, and then there's these monsters. There are these creatures for each, is it type? I think type, and then there's these 4 unique champions. So the 4 of them actually are listed here. They're called, for the order, it's K Royal Envoy. For machine, it's called, no, it's not machine, it's energy. It's Top Reaver Thea. And then for growth, it's Jarl Urhald. Is that how you pronounce it? What do you think? Jarl Urhald?
I have no idea how to say it.
And then for our last and final, it's Decay and it's Neuroflash Seamstress. So, yeah, these champions, like, if we take a look at K Royal Envoy right here, we can see that he has a submark making him unique. And then the stats are 6 attack, 2 countdown, and 6 defense. That's pretty bulky, but considering he has 8 order. And look at his effects. Dominion, like all these champions, if you look at them, have Dominion, or I think it was Pillage, right? Pillage? It was Pillage, right? Or was it Dominion? Wait,
Wait.
So Dominion is the one that activates when of one idol is destroyed, right?
I'm gonna have to check this.
Yeah.
This is a big update.
Yeah, it's so huge that it's kind of hard to summarize. Anyways, I think Dominion's the one where it activates when we destroy. And then look at this guy's effect when Dominion. It says, cannot be targeted by spells or enchantments. That's like groundbreaking for a game like Scrolls where spells and enchantments play such a big deal in the whole game. So if you never played Scrolls before, but in Scrolls, when you have spells or enchantments, they're basically the basis of the game. You can't play the game with only creatures. So this guy is going to be like, is it a girl? What do you think? Is it a girl or is it a boy?
It's a person.
Okay, this person is going to be groundbreaking. Now the second champion they show is Top Reaver Thea, and it's unique. It has 7 attack, 2 countdown, and 6 life, and it's 8 energy, 8 resource. So it's 8 for almost everybody except for Jarl Urhald, which is 9 apparently. That's quite twerky, don't you think so? So now this girl somewhat has like ranged attack, she has piercing, she has pillage. What the heck is this? She's like too strong. Like this is going to boost energy so much.
Big time.
Big time.
Big time rush.
Even Owen himself describes Top Reaver Thea as an energy champion that has high attack and piercing, which should help you break through to those precious idols. And then she'll activate her pillage ability, which is like just adds resources. That might seem,
So this is in the general like a soldier.
yeah, it's like a sword.
It's like something you can like attack with.
Yeah, and then its pillage effect is 2 resource. That seems very useless to some degree, but when you consider that energy is all about having resources and building bulky stuff up, it's a perfect match.
True.
So going on to the third champion, it's Jarl Urhold, who apparently is the only champion that costs 9. And his is unique. He has Relentless, which seems to be a trend between growth these days. He has Inspiring, which has +2 attack. And then he has the new ability Pillage that says Urhold's countdown is set to 0 after attacking. So, what's your thought about having this reset every time he does damage, so he's going to attack infinitely?
Well,
He's going to be unstoppable, basically.
attack infinitely.
Yeah, like
Infinity and beyond.
even his countdown here is really small, and then they're buffing this guy up. I guess that's kind of the reason it costs more.
Yeah, but like, once you actually get that, that might be a little OP. It's not gonna be long before pretty much every Scrolls player has that.
Yeah, but like it's picking scrolls is really hard. But anybody who gets touched on this, as soon as he's summoned, it's probably groundbreaking. Even if you're losing, you have a chance to win, and I see that as game changing, basically. Now he has 6 attack and 7 defense, which is also very, very weird because everybody else has 6 health. But the attack is a little bit different because if we continue on to the fourth champion, she's called Nuru, I believe. Is that Nuru? Nuru Flesh Seamstress. She's a human apparently, although she's decay. She has unique, and then her Dominion ability says that undead creatures you gained get 1+ attack. So now if you see here, her attack is actually 0. And then it says here, her ability is that Nuru does not attack. When Nuru's countdown becomes 0, Nuru summons 2 husks with countdown 0 at random positions on your side. The husks are destroyed after attacking. So, I can basically see a combo here working. Basically, she summons 2 husks, they attack, they destroy, they get +2 attack. Just infinite stuff. So, infinitely they're gonna gain attack, and I think that's kind of OP. I think the thing that balances out this character is that the husks die after they summon. So that's what do you think about this character? Do you think?
Well, if they buff that, then it might be slightly OP.
Yeah.
You could just have like 2 OP things and just win.
Yeah. My biggest question is they balanced Nuru out, but why wouldn't they balance Jarl Urhold? It just kind of doesn't make sense. Like, I get that his energy is now buffed, but that just doesn't seem to fill the pattern, right?
True.
It kind of breaks it. Now, the next thing our Mojang Unholy, Owen mentioned was that there's going to be a judgment overhaul, and then the rarity of each row scrolls is, during the crafting process, they're going to fix that up some way, and players will be even more evenly matched when creating a deck. And then furthermore, he goes on to explain that while Judgment decks will still last up for 5 matches, they're now going to be completely destroyed after 2 losses. And then they're trying to compensate by lowering the entry fee. And they're also making gold better, like you can earn gold better. What do you think about this whole Judgment overhaul they're doing?
Well, the update in general is going to change a lot of stuff.
I know what you're talking about. Like, it's gonna change how gameplay will work. I'm sorry, my pronunciation is not good today. Will work, and it's gonna change. It's definitely no reason why it's called Rebellion in the first place. It totally changes stuff.
Yeah, totally. Like, completely.
So the next thing they mention is that there's going to be new store items. So that means 4 new pre-constructed decks. For you, if you never played the game, pre-constructed decks or like decks you can buy from the place they're pre-constructed. If you play any other card game like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh, you probably know what a pre-constructed deck is, but just...
it's like a pre-deck, it's a deck built for you.
Yeah, basically. And then, this is where they go in depth about the Explorers Pack. We were like wondering for the first time, we're like, what the heck is an Explorers Pack? They say these are like 10 scroll packs that guarantee to include at least 4 scrolls from the new Rebellion set. So you're guaranteed to get some new cards.
Yeah, so you can actually like check them out and use them.
Yeah, like out of the 56 new scrolls, you can have 4. So
At least.
what we were talking about ago, we were saying like if anybody gets this card, everybody would want it, Jarl Orhald. It's going to totally destroy. And it seems like the Explorers Pack is actually helping this because you're guaranteed to have 4 scrolls from Rebellion. And then if you buy that over and over and over again, you're guaranteed probably to have Jarl Orhald someday. Like, we don't know the cost yet, but we probably think it's going to be a little high. But for skilled players who can almost win every match, that's almost nothing. What do you think about this, Seatters?
Well, I think it should be like cheap, because like so everyone can have it, and not the skilled player won't just be dominating everyone.
Yeah, I'm totally agreeing. So
Yeah, it should be cheaper.
yeah, I guess they should like lower it to not 4 scrolls but 2, or you have a higher chance. But I get the whole point of the Explorers Pack is to promote Rebellion, which they've been largely doing for a while. They're like, wait for Rebellion. Rebellion is awesome. And I totally get it with the champions and all this, but I really think the Explorers Pack is going a bit too cheap. So
Yeah, I mean, some of the cards are OP.
yeah. Now, before we go on to review the new cards, it also says that scroll packs and random singles now have a chance to drop upgraded scrolls, like the things you get when you craft. For you and players who don't play the scrolls game, this crafting is where you put 2 cards together and you have a chance to get this shinier card that almost nobody does, but it has some benefits. Like it keeps track of how many times you won with this card and stuff like that. But now they're giving that a chance to be in scroll packs, which are like 5 card packs if you ever play Pokemon or Magic, the small packs that have a random amounts. So I think that's cool. Like, what do you think about this whole thing being about upgraded scrolls? Because they're supposed to be rare. Do you think it's lowering the rarity or something?
Well, it's about average.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, it's not completely destroying it because they never actually mention if it's 100%, a 20%, a 10%. But I still think it's kind of lowering the rarity too much. Like, upgraded scrolls are something you should be proud of, but like doing this, you could have gotten it anywhere. So, but they do say that you should keep your fingers crossed as you open them. Might meaning that it's going to be really rare. Like how you're saying that you have to totally depend on luck. That might mean it's like really rare, like 2% chance. I interpreted it like that. What did you interpret it? Like, do you think it was like useless?
I think it might be like somewhat useful,
Yeah.
but not that much.
True. Now, the last thing before we review the 8 new cards they showcased off with the 4 new champions is that the Just For You section will again be updated with the newest update cards. So that's once again make all these OP champions easier to get. So we really start seeing that almost everybody will have 1 champion in their deck, depending on what cards they're playing. So Tony, I really think that this is kind of making everything OP. Like, what's your ideas about this?
Well, since everyone will have somewhat access, everyone will become OP, and it won't be that OP.
Yeah, true. But for example, because you don't play the game, the Just For You sections like very expensive. Most of them, like sometimes they go over 10,000 coins. So that also kind of hints to our better players getting better cards and becoming better. I really think Scrolls, the team of Scrolls, should try balancing this out, like having some people, like weaker people, trying to get up because it seems like they're dividing the line more and more.
Yeah, because like if you're like a skill player, then if you just get your hands on some good ones,
Now the last
just become OP and just dominate everyone.
Yeah, so the last thing we'll be reviewing before the cards, I've kept on repeating that, but it really doesn't matter. The last thing we're going to review is that there's 13 new trials. They haven't told us the name or what the heck it's going to be about, but it says it's going to offer lots of gold and a significant challenge for experienced players, quote unquote, also meaning that experienced players will get more gold and resulting in more, more champions, resulting in more domination, and they're trying to just create this whole circle. It's hilarious, according to me. And now we'll go on to the new scrolls, okay?
And you're in charge of that.
So, there are 2 new order scrolls. There's 2 for every type. And then the first one we're going to review is Wings Cleaver. It has 6 order, and it's a creature. And it's relentless, and it has Dominion. It's like this whole thing is based on Dominia and Pillage. So it has 4 attack, 3 counter, and 5 heart. But its Dominion makes it so OP that I think these people are starting to unbalance the game a little bit, but I don't think it's so OP. Dominion is that it's plus 3 attack and base count and is decreased by 1.
I mean, what if the scroll people added like some cards that only beginners could use, like, you know, and then once you get up, like, what if it was like you can use a certain set of pretty decent cards for a week after you start? 10 games or whatever.
I think that might be a good idea, but
yeah, because it'll help starters get the feel of the game, and not get pwned, and see if they want to play.
I think that's kind of the reason they tried adding Judgment, but Judgment is a little bit too costly for new players and a little bit challenging.
I mean, if you just bought the game, there should be at least some decent cards that you can start out with, see what the game is like.
Okay, yeah, I get it. The Judgment, like, most of the experienced players go there. But let's now continue on to the scrolls. Do you agree?
Yeah.
The second order scroll, it costs us 3. That's the lowest we've seen so far in the order scrolls. And it's a displacement spell called Reversal. What happens is the frontmost and rearmost units on one side of target row switch places. And then you get to draw 1 scroll, which seems to be basically how everything is designed these days for order. Draw 1 scroll for like every ending. Do you think this is like pointless or something, just adding draw 1
scroll? They should
scroll?
fix it.
Yeah, but
at a certain point something happens or something like that.
Yeah, but when I kind of play order, it's mostly based on card usage, so I can get their point. But if they're just gonna have a bunch of draw 1 scrolls, I'd rather get like 1 card that just gives me 3 scrolls only. I think it's kind of an unnecessary addition effect.
Yeah, they should like fix it somehow. Yeah, Mojang, do it.
Yes, Mojang.
Mojang, so, if you're listening, do it now. I order you.
Now let's continue on to the energy scrolls. The first one is the lowest cost in the showcase they showed off, and it's called Vicious Strike. Now it has Surge. This spell gives it Surge. And when Vicious Strike is played, target unit gets plus X attack until end of the turn, where X is the surge value. Now, if you played Magic the Gathering before, you know that this is kind of a ripoff of Magic the Gathering, where there's cards that say that if you pay this much mana, then you will get this much attack. So how do you feel about this? Do you think this is copying, or is it good strategy?
It's not copying, because anyone can actually think of that, and they just thought about it first. So it's not copying. And it's a really, general idea.
True. So now, this Vicious Strike, they say, is going to, they say it's going to be, Surge is going to use all the remaining resources to buff off 1 kid or 1 creature until they destroy the other team. I can see this going along very well with Top Reaver Thea, especially with her Pillage effect. But I still think it's a little OP. In some way, and
true.
It's like the 1 cost whole thing. Like if somebody builds up energy, which is kind of the whole point of energy, then basically if they summon Top Reaver Thea and then they just kept on getting energy, then they can use this Vicious Strike and raise like 10 attack, and I really think that's OP considering that an idol has 10 health. So now, going on to the third scroll they showed off, third because we also talked about Top Reaver Thea, and it's called Replication. This one's kind of cool, Tony, I believe. I found it very cool. How do you find it, like replication?
It's really interesting.
Pretty much. So I'll sum it up for you. It's actually a creature, not a spell, like most of you didn't expect. 3 attack, 2 countdown, and 2 health. It's a ranged attacker like most energies. And then it says that when replication is destroyed, return to owner's hand if your current energy is 2 or more. So what I can see is that they're trying to connect all energy cards they showcased off. Top Reaver Thea gets more energy. Vicious Strike gains more power by getting more energy. And then as top reader Thea gets more energy, replication can be invincibly used. You know what I find most ironic is
What?
that replication cost is 3, and then current energy has to be 2 or more. So what you have to do is basically you get replication back. So when you summon replication, you can kill it, just don't use any energy, and you just get it back. So it's like
Whoa.
infinitely just if you don't use any cards. And I
Yeah, they
think
should balance that.
yeah, but when you consider that energy uses lots of energy, that kind of
Energy uses lots of energy.
energy uses lots of energy. So I guess that kind of makes sense. Saying that like many of the cards in energy is very very highly cost. I've seen 8s and 7s in there that are not even champions. So I guess it kind of makes sense. So now let's continue on to growth. We've talked about Jarl Urhold, the overpowered champion, and let's go to the Vengeful Vader. Now, Tony.
Wait, I didn't read about this.
What?
I heard nothing about this.
Really?
Yes.
So,
So,
Tony, in the game, the growth has a guy called, I think it was the Eye of the Vader. And then this is just a vengeful version of that. So it's kind of weird in ways. It has 2 attack, 2 countdown, and 2 health. That's kind of an upgrade of the old Vader. Considering that this guy's mad and he's going to punch people in the face, does make sense. His pillage is that it increases growth by 1. And Vengeful Vader is dealt 1 damage. This is kind of like the cost and give kind of cards, like Blood Boil, if you don't know. So how do you feel about this?
meh. My reaction, meh.
It's like the most balanced card I've seen so far. So,
They need more balanced cards. I mean, like,
yeah, that's true.
Like, if a character has lots of attack, it should have less defense.
True. So now let's continue on to the. Oh, what were you trying to say?
No. Like, there should be more balance.
True. So now let's continue on to the last growth scroll. Oh, the Vengeful Vader costs 2 growth, by the way. That's quite balanced too. They're all 2. Is a cost 6 resource for growth, and it's called Seed of Insurgency. I might say this is kind of cool, kind of unique, like every scroll we've seen so far. So it says when enchanted creature is destroyed, it's summoned again on the same tile, and its countdown is set to 1, meaning that it will just keep on attacking. So in some way, this is also OP if we add that to Jarl Urhold. Like we kill it with a shock spell, or a Frostgale spell, and then you just kill it by yourself, and then it spawn with only 1 countdown, and just boom, everything dies. So you can see that growth is becoming really, really OP. How do you think about this? Like, growth is becoming.
They should nerf it. Like, if they add something really good about growth, then they should take something bad about. They should make something bad about growth.
Yeah, like growth.
Take away something good about growth.
Growth used to be the most OP thing until decay come in, and then decay is completely the opposite of growth. I mean decay, not decay. Decay is the complete opposite of growth, so that balances it out. And then they're now buffing growth to a certain point where it's much more better than decay. Because next thing we're going to review is the decay cards, the 2 which I found least normal. Like, they're not really good.
Like, different.
Yeah, they're not like. They're more normal than the other cards where you have these crazy things. So let's go with the more normal one first. His name is Blade Husk 2 Decay, and he's 4 attack. That is high numbers, but 3 countdown and 2 health. It's kind of like a Frostbeard in the growth side. But instead of this guy helping other people, it has a Dominion effect called Relentless. So this guy is the most normal guy I've seen so far, because his attack is balanced out by his low health and high countdown, and his Dominion attack thing is only activated when 1 pillar is destroyed. So I couldn't really find anything more balanced than this guy, except maybe I can talk about the Vengeful Vader. Like, which one do you think is more balanced, like the Blade Husk or the Vengeful Vader?
I say the Blade Husk.
For what reason?
'Cause I feel like it. No, but no, seriously.
Yeah, so what's the reason?
Well, it's just balanced in general.
more likely. Yeah, because that guy's pillage is kind of more OP than Dominion if you think about it. Pillage is when you attack, and it's kind of like that instant only. But you just have to deal 1 damage, and then it'll still work. And Dominion, you have to completely destroy, but it's permanent. So it's kind of like a handoff. So the next card, and the final card we'll discuss today, is the Stitcher. He's a human for some reason, and I guess he stitches in real life. He has 2 attack, 2 counter, and 3 health. And his effect is also very, 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 very Rebellion-like. So, when Stitcher's countdown is 0, you may sacrifice target creatures to increase another target creature's attack and health by 2. If you do, Stitcher's countdown is reset. And then he has a little button called Stitch, which you will click in the real game. So, what do you think about this card? I generally think it's kind of cool. Because it never kind of attacks, but it actually buffs off other creatures. What do you think?
Well, it's kind of like a support unit, basically.
From other games, too. So, it's a support unit that helps other creatures. So...
yeah, like in TF2, for example, it's a healer.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good example. And I actually agree. It buffs attack and health. That's the only difference. The healer only buffs up health. But it really seems like all these different scrolls they showed are very interesting things. So that's about it today, guys. And hope you enjoy our first discussion video. And as always, this is Launchcraft signing out. Thanks for watching.
Wait, that means no one will ever see the end of this video. The match.
So, this is Launchcraft signing out. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.